Right, hello everybody that's going to be coming on. So we'll just give a couple of minutes, Tony. Thanks for joining us today. We'll just literally give it a minute or so for anyone that's just trying to dial in at the moment. And yeah, so thanks for your time yesterday as well. It was a great session. We've made that available on demand now for people that may have missed that, but your top tips were very well received from all the feedback we got. So thank you for doing that.
No problem.
Okay, right. So we can make a start. So I guess to start with then, Tony, do you want to introduce yourself and the company?
Yeah, no problem. So hi guys, my name is Tony Mullan and I'm the Sales and Design Director at Anthony Mullan Furniture.
Okay. And so in terms of where you're based and I guess what you've got on site there, Tony, it's very impressive, the premises that you've got there. I know it's a bit out of bounds at the moment, but short term, but yeah.
So Anthony Mullan Furniture has been going for 20 years now. Started by my father, Anthony Mullan. So he is a cabinet maker by trade and decided that he wanted to do something on his own effectively. And then 20 years ago, he founded the company. So we're actually based on a farm, which is fantastic in terms of the aesthetics of the actual surroundings.
Yeah.
So we have clients that come from central London that basically come on to a farm where there's horses and sheep and off the beaten track really. We've got ample amount of parking, which is fantastic too. And then you walk into our showroom, which is huge, and it offers various different ranges from and styles, which we're going to be diving into shortly.
Yeah.
So we've got loads of different ranges on display, and the most important bit as well, it's adjoining to the factory, so everything is made where we're located, which is just outside of Windsor, Maidenhead, in Berkshire. So you can really see the kitchen, your kitchen being manufactured within the UK.
Yeah. And how is the current situation affecting you guys at the moment in terms of projects and designs, that aspect? How are you dealing with that?
So in terms of ongoing projects, we are still continuing to install projects at the moment, which is in line with the restrictions. So clients still need, they are without plumbing, ovens, things like that. So they still need to be installed. We're still manufacturing furniture because we've got kitchens going out before Christmas, which are also important. We've got deadlines to meet. But in terms of new business, we offering our Zoom and Teams virtual design consultations where we can use this medium to go through designs with clients, take initial consultations with clients, and obviously process credit card details with clients. So we can do all everything, via this medium, which we're just thankful that we're in an age where that's achievable, really.
And I know, having worked with you guys closely for a while, that especially earlier this year, like you really embraced the online thing and you were doing the consultation straight away over kind of Zoom and Teams, and people, getting to that point where they were confirming projects actually like via this route. So that was superb, and obviously you've taken that forward leaps and bounds since then as well. So brilliant. Okay, well, what we'll do, we'll go into some of the areas that you've prepared, and we can discuss then to everything in terms of different styles of kitchen. Yesterday was really insightful in terms of, I guess, all the different aspects to consider when designing a kitchen, and it was enlightening in that way. And I guess people at home that are thinking about, well, actually what type of style they should go for, this is what today's all about. So in terms of actually kind of the different types of styles, so if we go back one, actually you've got do you want to talk us through the different types there are?
Yeah, so thanks, Chris. Whichever company you go to, and this is around the world, there's three main kind of styles and kitchen designs that every company will offer. So there's obviously contemporary, which you can see here. So very clean lines, very minimalistic. We've got two-tone colors here, so that's also quite a contemporary sort of feeling, where you've got the contrast of the dark wall behind with the lightish island. So keeping it quite airy, open, and quite inviting. So contemporary, which effectively is a slab door, as you can see on this design here. This one has a scooped handle, so it doesn't have any hardware handle. It has the handle integrated within the actual door itself, so giving that more streamlined, sleek look. So contemporary is one of them. And then we go to the next style. This style here is more of a timeless / shaker style. So effectively it is a shaker style door, but it then has you know, a frame around it as well. This style we kind of regard as timeless, because shaker has been around for so many years. It will never go out of fashion. Hence the timeless name of it. The only things that will come in and out of trend are colors and kind of like the hardware, so like the handles. So here we've got kind of chrome knobs and cups, which kind of supplement the shaker style, and also the colors. So we've again gone quite light and airy, keeping, you know, well, this particular design, because it's quite a narrow, well, not narrow, it's about 1.4 meters, that distance there. So it's quite deceiving on the photograph. So it's quite big.
Yeah.
But we don't want any dark colors in that sort of corridor effect. But you can see towards the back of where the bifolds are, the furniture towards the back is darker than the ones closest to the photograph.
Sure. Okay.
The third really style is more traditional. It's also a shaker style, but it's what we call an in-frame shaker. So you've got the shaker door, and then around the door on the outside of it, there's a frame. So this just really gives a more furniture-looking kitchen, rather than, you know, complete opposite to the contemporary style, where it's very clean lines, very smooth looking. Whereas this has a bit more detail to it. You know, you can even see to the degree of the bespoke larder. We've got the internals of the, you know, solid oak internals, and, you know, writing actually on the drawers themselves. So we've got bread, pasta, you know, tea, coffee, sugar, that sort of detail that we you know, we can obviously achieve.
Great. Okay. And then I guess, so in terms of, so some examples here of your contemporary kitchens, projects that you've made. What kind of variance is there in price then between the different styles? Is there much difference?
Yeah, there is actually. I mean, the in-frame shaker, which is the more traditional, is the most expensive, because of the detailing that it has.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more furniture involved. We're obviously going through the contemporary style slides here, but just going back to my previous slide, where, you know, everything was a bit more detailed, even to the degree of the writing on the drawers, and the more ornate beading around doors and sham sort of plinths. So they would be more expensive. So this one here, exactly. So there's a lot more detail going on, you know, the mantle, and so on. Yeah, sorry, it's going really quick.
That frame element, isn't it, really? It's kind of...
The frame element gives a... Yeah, I mean, it's a lot more furniture. There's a lot more work that's involved. So it is the more expensive of kitchen styles that you possibly, you know, achieve.
Yeah.
The next level down in terms of styling would be the shaker styles. So it's very similar. So this one here, for instance, this is a shaker style kitchen. So it doesn't have a frame around the door. So advantages of having the shaker versus the in-frame is that it is more competitively priced, and you actually save more space. So that frame actually takes up, you know, space, whereas the shaker doesn't. So probably the difference in terms of percentages is about 25% different between shaker and in-frame shaker.
Okay.
And then the last one, which is the contemporary style kitchens. So there's even less work that goes into these, where it's a slab door.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's one sheet of material. So you're not cutting out the shaker style panels. You're not then framing it. So this is about 12.5% less than the shaker style kitchen.
Okay. And how about installation? Is there any time state? Like, is there any much difference when it comes to that stage, or are they pretty much the same?
The shaker and the contemporary styles are roughly the same.
Okay.
So in terms of time and price as well. But the in-frame is slightly more expensive for installing because of the detailing on the in-frames.
Yeah. Okay. Would you say that, like, in terms of different age of house, for example, and sort of type of house, that certain kitchen styles are more suited to different styles of house? Does that come up into consideration with your designs?
Yeah, I mean, there's always two ways I, would consult a client on choosing the right style that kind of suits those guys really. So the first one is obviously the property, like you just mentioned. So a contemporary style is more suited to more contemporary build. So big bifold windows at the back, loads of lighting throughout. Maybe a penthouse or a contemporary sort of housing build. Whereas say like a thatched cottage with an Aga and your typical big back garden with fields and things like that, are more typical to a shaker's style or an in-frame, so more detailing. So it's really getting that balance between that first point. The second point is really, how long do you intend to live in the property, which is quite an important factor, and clients don't often think maybe that far ahead. If you're thinking about living in the property, between 3 and 10 years, with a view of this isn't your forever home, then you need to really be mindful of choosing a style that's going to last the length of time, and also be suited to a potential buyer of that property. If you are in your forever home, then you can have literally whatever you want. There's no problem with trying to get a very ultra contemporary kitchen in a cottage. We can combine the two styles together. But it's really just thinking about how long you're going to be in the property. Is it your forever home? And those sort of detailings. And that's really what we get involved with, in the initial consultation, really to get a feel for what the client's wants and needs are.
Yeah. How about lighting? Because obviously, even in these pictures, there's lots of different examples of the way you actually take that into account. Are there different types of lighting scenarios for different styles of kitchen, or again, is that sort of similar?
Yeah, I mean, again, with regards to kitchen design now, and as you can see in every one of these photographs, it's not just the kitchen that we're designing. So we are now designing the kitchen, obviously, with a dining room and with the family room. So it's effectively, it's the home, hub of the home, really, where everyone comes together. It's all open plan. There's 3 rooms into one room now. So the lighting aspect of this design is very crucial. So you have to separate the rooms with lights. So, you're having 3 different phases of lighting. In fact, maybe even 4, because, pendant lighting and plinth lighting could be considered as the 4th phasing. You're going to need lights within the family room, lights in the dining room, lights in the kitchen. And in terms of individual types of lights, so you have obviously ceiling lights, which are normally these days LED ceiling lights, and they can be on different switches. So you can sit in the family room and turn off the lights, the LED lights, ceiling lights in the kitchen. So really separating that room. Here you can see there's pendant lights above this island, which is also a different type of lighting system. Again, pendant lights here. You can then see in this design here, there's lighting, and in this design that goes underneath the wall cabinetry. So that's another type of light. In this design here, there's plinth lighting near the dining area, plinth lighting on this island here. So again, that's another aspect of lighting there. And what's also crucial is to make sure that all your lighting kind of comes together. There are 3 different colors of lights. Well, actually, there's thousands of different colors of lights, but 3 main colors. There is warm white, cool white, and natural white. So, make sure that your ceiling lights, pendant lights, plinth lights, all are the same color.
Yeah, great. Okay, brilliant. All right, that's very good. I know you've got lots of examples on your website as well, so on anthonymullan.com. So that was, really good, Tony. Thank you for that. I just reflect, we'll take some questions in a second. So if anyone else has got any other, few have been put in the chat, but if you put in the Q&A section as well, we'll go through those. But just to say that, you're generously extending a 20% off your kitchens for anyone that inquires as a result of the Inspire Design Home Show. So guys, if you want to go to the Anthony Mullan Furniture profile within the exhibitors area, you can scroll down and find this form and fill that in. And one of the designers will get in touch. Also, Tony and the team are online this weekend on the live chat. So once you're in the profile, you just click the live chat button and you can type in your questions or anything you've got on your mind, and they'll get back to you and answer that. So that's great. So we'll do some, go through a couple of questions here. Let me just stop sharing and then, okay. So someone put in here about the larders, a lovely example of a larder there. Can you do a contemporary finish on a larder? So is that something that only suits a certain style, Tony, or?
No, we are doing so many different configurations of larders now. Right. They're really changing the way people actually utilize their kitchens. So, there's kind of 3 main types. So you've kind of got your traditional bespoke larder, which you saw in one of those photos where you had the spice racks on the doors, the kind of writing on the drawers themselves. Another version of a larder is more of a breakfast kind of cupboard, where you can have the doors that open up and then they can slide back, so the doors aren't protruding out. Right. Have some work surface internally, and then actually start using it as work surface, so it becomes part of the kitchen. So you can have sockets at the back where you can plug in, a toaster, a kettle, or coffee machine, blender, that sort of thing. You have drawers below, storage above. And personal favorite of mine in terms of a larder is, you can have also a drinks kind of area. Right. So exactly the same concept. So, but having, say, like a wine cooler built within, again, a piece of stone work surface inside, sockets, glass LED shelves, to really give it that contemporary edge and look. Because when the doors are closed, they can then be any finish. So they can be contemporary, shaker, or even in frame. So you can really achieve different finishes.
Great stuff. Okay. Someone's asked about how to integrate appliances for the traditional style to suit the style, it says, but like basically, I guess that's like in keeping with traditional and where you've got really modern looking appliances. Any advice around that or making a?
Yeah, I mean, well, certainly. So a couple of options what you can achieve. Well, it depends on what styles you go for. If it is more traditional looking, then you might be more suited to, say, like a range cooker. That really suits an ultra, traditional kitchen. So like a range cooker or an Arga or something like that. Secondly, you can be quite clever, and like I was just mentioning, the doors, you can actually have so appliances built. So like the one behind me here, if I just move out of the way, the one behind me here. So this is quite a contemporary style oven, but you can actually have that built in a cabinet, and then have doors that open up and slide back, and then you have the oven straight in front of you. So you can then hide them over and then completely show no appliances at all. So there's definitely two ways you can achieve it.
Yeah. Great stuff. Okay. Someone else has asked about contemporary kitchens can be very bold. Can you update the look in the future? So I guess that's coming down to replacement of doors and things like the front, I imagine. But like, kind of, how would you help someone consider that in the future and think it through? They might want something really bold at the moment, but maybe if they're calming down or they're moving, or like you say, you know, things that consider. I think that's probably another interesting angle. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good point. I mean, the beauty of us is that we manufacture the furniture. So we never discontinue colors, ranges, styles. So if you know, we have often done it. We've been going 20 years now, and the clients in the first 5 years have come back. We've changed the color of their kitchen, changed the handles, and it's like a brand new kitchen because the work surfaces are perfect, the carcasses are all perfect. So it's a good point where you can change the color if you wanted to at a later stage. Or another point that I often say to clients in the initial stages, you know, if you did want to go bold, for instance, in the first instant, and you are to sell a property, a lot of clients sell the property and list us as, you know, they put us on the listing when they're selling a property. So it's a bespoke Anthony Mullan kitchen. Then the new buyers of that house would contact us, and we'd actually change the colour of the kitchen for them. So it shouldn't put anyone off that you've got a you know, high gloss green kitchen, but we can easily change it to a shaker kitchen.
Right, great. Okay, brilliant. Probably got time for one more question. So asking about Vicky's asking about recommendation for a classic style of kitchen, not looking dated in 5 years. So any tips, I guess, of how to stand the test of time? any design trends or colours or anything that you'd advise someone thinking longer term that's not going to date?
Well, like I said, it really depends on what sort of colours they're initially thinking of. But you know, definitely, you know, maybe 2 years ago was, well, 3 years ago, the colours were definitely blues that were quite on trend. You know, Farrow and Ball do a lovely colour called Stiffkey Blue, which is, you know, that was on trend maybe 2 or 3 years ago. Then it got into the grey tones, which, you know, different combinations of dark greys and light greys. And then it's now edging towards more of a greeny tone colour, so kind of like your background kind of, you know, colour where it's a dark green. But like I said, you know, if we do it in a green today, it doesn't mean that green will be on trend in 5 years' time. But if it's not, then you can easily change it. So I would say, you know, go with what you want, and then we can change it if things do radically change away from greys and, you know, the greens, which I don't really see it changing that much for the next 5 to 10 years, but which, you know, maybe in 5 to 10 years, you might want to move property, you might want to change the kitchen anyway. So it'd be a good time frame to do that.
Great. Okay, brilliant. Superb. All right. Well, thank you for that. If anyone's got any more questions, then like I say, Tony and the team will be available via their profile. So you can get the live chat and ask them anything that you want to there, or via their website. All the details are in the exhibitor section there. So yeah, thank you very much again, Tony, and I'll catch up with you very soon. Cheers.
Thank you. Bye-bye.